and stuff that as they went through it, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we need to make sure that we're doing this. All right. So first off, I do want to say about the crew that we have here and just where we're going, what we're building. And yesterday, Bruce Goodman came up to me and he's like, man, your group just looks so good. I was like, I know. I said, no, thank you. I'm like, it's about to go down, just super excited about what's happening here. So let's rock through this. Number one, all right, helpful hints. So I know that Fred spoke about this. And by the way, those of you from the area, think about in Clear Lake, I want you guys to look at it and say, like, what makes sense to you guys? We're not from the area. I know ours are awful. We have to totally fix them. But like for someone, so we're going to change to say, hey, we're on Bay Area down, 10 minutes down the or 7 minutes down the road from Baybrook Mall. When you see the bank turn, like we have to switch to the next. Okay, there we go. All right, then number two, bulk interviews. So you guys need to check right now, everybody, and ask your managers, are the interviews in for the next month, right? For preseason, it's going to be a different schedule than when we kick off right after Mother's Day, May 13th. So right now, the next 4 weeks, we need to make sure all interviews are in the schedule. This is very important because we have kids that are coming home and they can book themselves, as well as, and I would make a note, ask your manager, and then those of you who are opening or are currently open, any remote interviews, as well as write down virtual interview times. Cool, virtual interview times. So ask your manager and then DMs and BMs, when are your virtual interview times? Because as we start Facebook Jumpstart tomorrow, guess what? You're going to have top people who say, oh, I'm currently up in Dallas at school. I get back in May. Oh, I'm over at Purdue. Oh, I'm at Penn State. Oh, I'm over in Missouri. Oh, I'm over wherever. And so you can interview them still and be able to get them scheduled for training for when they get back after finals, okay? So we want to know, when are virtual interview times? Those are times that some of you guys are helping with, some of you guys are running, and some of you guys are setting your friends for those, okay? The second is remote interviews. Those go in Vector Live. Remote interviews are for people that might live 20 miles away, but they're still part of your territory. So in Jordan's office, he has some zip codes that are further out. Maybe they're even, and for me, anything above 10 miles is remote, because 10 miles typically takes about 20, 25 minutes. So I think we set it at that, and everything beyond that are remote interviews where people actually interview on their own through an online system. And then we finish their interview over the phone and we schedule them for training to the office. Cool. So that's a new feature that we have this year because I think about for us in the pilot, we're going to be interviewing people from North Shore. We're interviewing people from Baytown. We are even interviewing people from Beaumont, from Pearland. And so they have a larger drive, even Galveston Island. So we're going to be doing remote interviews for those guys where they interview close to home. They don't have to come in for the interview, and then they can just come in for training. Cool? So just so you guys know that's happening. But that's the second point. Have all interviews been decided for this month? Do we have virtual interview times? Do we have remote interviews set up? And if you don't know how to set up your remote interviews, I'm going to give you 3 steps right now. This is what you need to do for remote interviews. Number 1, pick the zip codes. You need a list of the zip codes that you want to remote. That's the first thing. That needs to get emailed to Fred and Brian Winans. So number 1, pick all the zip codes you want to remote from your territory. Email to Brian Winans and to Fred Glazier. All right, so it gets copied to both of them. Number 2, identify your remote interview times. And by the way, basically pick hour blocks. So for us, we have remote interviews available from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We have remote interviews available from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. We're going to have remote interviews available from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Cool. You might only have 1 hour. You might have 2. It's better to have different times because kids have class, right? So during that hour, it allows up to 6 people to schedule themselves for a remote interview. And typically you'll have 2 or 3 of those that end up completing the whole process. And you're calling them during that window to do their post interview on the phone. Okay. So for you as a manager, pick your zip codes that are going to be on remote. Have all the times for the next couple of weeks. Like, what are the hour blocks that you can actually do those remote interviews? So you might have people over in sounds like Prairie View, or where Brandon's branch was, where Brenham, right? And so those are remote interviews. They don't have to drive all the way to College Station for the interview. You can interview them, Gabe, over the phone, and then they just come for training, okay? So we need to pick those hour blocks. And by the way, those, once Fred sees, Jordan, you email him, hey, we're on remote, these are the interviews we want. He's gonna turn it on Vector Live, and he'll say, enter your interviews. And then you can put all your remote interviews in there, and then you're set. Cool? By the way, there's no script. There's nothing. I've got to, like, it's a post. Build rapport and post them. In Vector Live, you'll see their answers from what they did. Cool? Like from their interview. You'll see the stuff they put in there. So you can walk through that with them and interview them over the phone. All right? So it's about a 10-minute. He said it's about 10 minutes on the phone, typically 10, 15 minutes. And they're very, very effective. You get a lot more people that you're able to interview that might have driven all the way out just for that. All right. Number three is make sure that you guys are set up for your PR process, right? Yesterday, I went through the 10 keys to rocking PRs. So what is happening through that process? So make a note, everyone in this room, learn how to manage duplicates. Make a note of that. So ask your managers, make sure all your people know that, make sure you know how to do that. So know how to manage duplicates, all right? They'll show you what that means, but you need to know how to manage duplicates and how to send names to conveyor. So how do I send names to conveyor? So everyone needs to know how to manage duplicates, how to send names to conveyors. And the last thing is rock a PR call. How do I rock a PR call? Everyone in this room, in the next 2 weeks, that needs to be a focus of just mastering a PR call. They're super easy. And what's a PR? Someone who's what? Personally recommended, personally referred. Some people say personal recruit, right? Whatever. It's a friend of someone's. So are you comfortable that if someone goes, here, Ashley, here's my friend, like, what do you say, to them? So just we have a script for that, and it's just getting comfortable and rehearsing it. Everyone in here needs to be masters of that. This summer, we're in a team meeting, and one of the guys on your team, because you're a team captain, or you're a branch manager, or you're a district manager, and they go, Gabe, my buddy wanted to know about the job. You can't be like, you're like, give me your phone. You're like, hey, man, what's up? You're like, yeah, I'm here at the team meeting right now. I told Charlie to give you a quick call because we do have some positions available for the summer. And I'd asked him if he knew anyone that might be looking for work or might be good, and he'd recommended you. How'd you guys know each other? He told me you guys knew each other from high school and played football together. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I played too. Cool. And where are you studying? All right, cool. And what are you up to this summer? Great. Well, hey, reason I ask is we have 1 to 5 week work opportunities. We have full summer and different things available. But what I'd love to do is set up a time so that we can meet, go over all the details of this position, and see if it's a good fit. Cool? They're like, all right. I'm like, hey, what's your schedule look like the rest of today and tomorrow to see if I could time that aligns, or to see if I find a time that matches up, or to see if I find a time that works, whatever you say, And they're like, oh, I have this. I'm like, all right, awesome. Let me see. You know what? I actually have a time at blank that I can meet with you. How does that sound? Or hey, I actually found a time that Mr. Kindemore can meet with you. How does that sound? All right, cool. And then that's it. And so we've got to be really comfortable with that. So you guys want to practice that and ask your managers, hey, when can I call some PRs? Who in here already has called more than 50 PRs? Raise your hand in the room if you've called more than 50. Raise your hand high. Raise your hand high. Cool. So about a third to half, like 40% of the room. So that needs to be a super strong focus. If I'm you, I'm like, how can I call 50 PRs this week? Cool. So I call 150 PRs on a Sunday during season. So you can take a couple hours and say, hey, how can I call 50 PRs? And they might be old PR names. Those are great people to call, by the way. Ashley, called old names, old things from the system, old no-shows. That's how she got Roman Lee, who's now our pilot manager. And several offices, and Jeremy, and also wouldn't be here, if it wasn't for that call. So you guys helping call old PR names, old no-shows, those are all going to be very impactful. So that's the third thing, is making sure, do you know how to call PRs yourself, right? Do you know how to manage duplicates? Do you know how to send them to conveyor? We've got to make sure that we're all set up and ready to roll. And those of you running training, the last thing under point 3, if you are running training, you need to master your PR collection talk. Cool? Branches, DMs, I have times available, and I have them available, especially those running earlier. Mary Lou has said she will check 3 things. She has been consistently posting to send her your stuff so she can watch it. I know that Jacob sent his interview portion, but there's 3 things that you can send Mary Lou, and we need to have them recorded. You can also schedule a 20-minute call this week to do your PR collection live. You want feedback on this before the summer hits. It is the #1 needle mover for our summer, is PR collection talk. Cool? What are the 3 things you want to get checked? Number 1, your perks in your interview. All right, your perks in your interview. She will watch it. Do your perks, record yourself during an interview, put your voice memo on, or put a video on. But you need to record your perks in your interview. New assistant managers, that's something that you're going to need to do as well. But right now, current office is opening. We need to check your interview. Number 2, we need to check your PR call. All right. So you can record yourself doing it when you're going through it, or you can role play it with someone and record that so they can hear that. Okay. So record a PR call. That will take you less than 5 minutes. All right. But getting feedback on that will be revolutionary for your business. And number 3, for those running training, is your PR collection talk. Okay. Your PR collection talk. You guys already know Mary Lou has requested, if you're running training this next week, just record yourself in training. She'd rather see it in action. All right, but you need to set an alarm right now for yourself. I know Erica kept forgetting, and then I was like, hey, set it, do it tomorrow. She did it, sent it in. So set an alarm right now, for Saturday morning or whatever's going to be your training, and say, record collection talk. All right, set up your computer to record yourself. Put it live, like I'm live on YouTube right now, whatever, so that she can watch it, or put your phone and then put it in Dropbox and send it over to her. All right. So those are the 3 things that current managers going into the summer, these are like non-negotiables. If you just get those 3 things down, you can rock this summer. Cool. Like really rock this summer. So your interview, collection of PRs, how to call a PR, and your training collection of PRs. All right. Those are things we need to master. And then assistant managers, making sure your PR call and the interview and the call, 2 of the 3, you won't be doing PR collection unless you're a district manager or branch manager. Well, they're the ones that own that bad boy. That's a big deal. All right. And there's like 1 or 2 guys who have ran offices who are DOMs who might help out with that sometimes, like Roland. Number 4, office communication. All right. District managers yesterday. And branch managers. Yesterday, Fred talked about how now everyone has their own vector marketing email. By the way, you can't log into this regularly on your phone. You can only check it in Vector Live, but it'll say, Joseph@mail@Vector Marketing. And so that's because a lot of the schools want an official email. So in the inbox in Vector Live, there's a little bell up top, and that bell shows you notifications. And so it'll show you emails that came in from people who had interviews set up. And it's going to also be it'll say campus. So it'll have campus, and it'll have just from interviewees or like people in Vector Live. Cool. Here's what I found out in our DBM meeting yesterday. District managers. It is automatically set up in your name. It allows you, so it's like Cody at blank, it's your office. It allows you to do a DOM and 2 assistant managers. Cool. And by the way, if I'm wrong, and when he said office manager, he meant the DM or BM, then it's 2 assistant managers. but for sure it's U+2, and it could be U plus Dom +2. That might just be for pilot offices that we have that. So let's just go safe with district managers, U+2. So you can create that for 2 other people to have an @Vector Marketing email. Cool. So whoever are your lead recruiters or sales manager, I would get that, make sure that's set up. How you see what your email is. You're like, well, what's my email? Write this down. It's under your office information. In Vector Live, under your office information, it has your personalized manager email address, okay? So that's really important for you guys to check that. And just making sure that you guys are checking the top right button every morning and every afternoon. I would say right now, make a note, set an alarm for 9:30 a.m. and set an alarm that goes off at 2:30 p.m. that says check alerts. You will forget. So setting an alarm on your phone Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, that you go, oh, I got to check the alerts. Because people, when they miss their interviews, guess where everything goes? In that alerts. And they'll go, I got a flat tire. Can I reschedule? Oh, my babysitter bailed out. And you never know that. And we never get in touch with them. And they wonder why they never got called for a reschedule. Cool? So make sure that you're checking alerts twice a day so you don't miss anything, right? So that's the 4th thing. So again, rewind. Number 1, we talked about helpful hints. Make sure those look good. By the way, if you don't already get a good picture of your office and send it in. They will not post a picture of your office if there's like a car driving by or it looks like a crappy picture, okay? And if your office building is super, super sketchy, don't do a picture. Just have good helpful hints, all right? But everyone needs the helpful hints unlock. Number 2, we talked about the interview creation and making sure that you know when virtual interviews are, so you can set your friends for them. Managers, when are they in your schedule so that we can get those done? Because starting tomorrow, Sunday, tomorrow, what should be happening starting tomorrow leaving from here? Anyone? Facebook Jumpstart, what should be happening every day? How many messages should get sent out every day? 50 messages. Cool? 50 messages. It takes you 15, 20 minutes to go copy, paste, change your name, copy, paste. But everyone in this room, and Brian Stevenson is going to crush his talk later. He's going to show you guys how to mass ad. And by the way, heads up, district managers. All right, I would tell you guys to do this right now. Look at your territory, district managers, and any branches with assistant managers. All right, so Cody, Jordan, Jacob, what I already did is I wrote down all of our assistants and AMITs. We looked at all of our schools, and we have a lot of territory right now. And I gave them each 2 to 4 schools that they're going to be in charge of. They need to know what school they're going to be focused on, because today in the meeting, Brian Stevenson is going to show how to do the mass PR ad. Everyone's going to do that. But you should have a school, or he'll say just go to one of your friends. We're being very strategic about who's hitting what school, trying to get as many of our guys that go to their own schools. You're going to learn about this later. I'm just saying you want to know all of your schools. Currently, anyone who's here in the room, what school do you want them mass adding later today? Cool? So figure that out. At least have one school for them. So if you have 4 people here, pick 4 of your schools that you want one of each of them to mass add during later. You guys will see what I'm talking about when Brian Stevenson talks. This is a huge part for our Facebook Jumpstart. And again, I would even have 2 schools per person here, just in case they get maxed out quicker, all right? So that's gonna be a really big thing. But starting tomorrow, everyone who wants to really crush this thing this summer, and we wanna go after the Silver Cup, this is what's gonna make the difference. Last year, the Chicago division, this is what they have dominated through January program and going into the summer. These guys did over $7 million in the summer. Cool? We did 3.4 million. Can everyone do math? They over doubled us. And this was the game changer. Every single assistant manager in their division had 2,000 to 3,000 plus friends that they had added over the course of the spring, okay? And just because you mass add doesn't mean they add you back, so they'll add back little by little, but they had been doing this since January. So when this time came, they had 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 plus friends on Facebook for Facebook Jumpstart. And it was so easy because now when preseason blitz started, They were like, boom, 50 messages a day. They just sent out. That's it. They just took 20, 30 minutes and sent out 50 messages every day, like clockwork. And they'd have people respond. What is it? Yeah, I need a job. Blah, blah, blah. And then those people, we set them up for interviews. And again, a lot of the ones that are away will be virtual interviews. And that's why we want to make sure we have times that you can interview people who are away at school. All right. So again, that was the second thing we talked about. Third thing was PRs and what you guys need to have with that. Number 4, office communication, making sure you're checking alerts, check your emails, and create the emails for the 2 people. So Gordon, you have one. You can also make one for Ashley, and you can make, for whoever else you choose that's going to be helping with recruiting. All right. Whether it's Tanner or someone else, whoever's helping with recruiting. And then number 5, picture of building for email confirmation. So this is, again, make sure it's good. You have to get a good, clear picture. So that's number 5. They don't really need a whole ton of directions because people use a GPS. Cool. It's what they need is once they get there, like, hey, we're next to the bank. Hey, we're in a white building. They just need to know what they're looking for when their GPS gets them to that area, okay? So you have to send that so it can get checked and your link for GPS can get checked. So make a note, must check link and picture, and that's gonna be sent to cglazier@cutco.com. So it's Fred's son. So C, like in Kathy, GLAESER. Again, cglaeser@cutco.com. He's the one checking all the links for to make sure that everything looks good and your picture, so you have no issues when people are trying to get to your office. Number 6, Craigslist. Here's, just so you guys know, there's nothing needed by managers here, but this year they're putting ads in not just customer service section, but also in the sales section. And so they've been testing it, and obviously, what they thought would happen is that those in the sales lower percentage of touches, but those that came through and actually launched much higher productivity because they wanted to sell and wanted a sales job. So they're putting ads in both of them. So that's just the heads up for this summer. And all of us get charged a certain amount for the ads National puts in on Craigslist and all the online job sources. Number 7, very important. Everyone in this room can help with this. When you're second manning the first day of training, when everybody walks into training, what is the first thing they should be doing after they check in with you? Write down terms of training. Terms of training. Anybody walks in. Jordan might be in the bathroom or talking to somebody, and somebody walks in, you greet them, you have them sign in, and then you say, hey, you're gonna get, and by the way, as they sign in, here's what you need to have. Whoever's checking people in, make a note, have a laptop open, or have your phone, I guess. You can have your phone too. But you've gotta click that they showed, all right, and save it. So click and save, click and save. Don't finish the training, just click, oh, they're here, and save. Because when you do that, it's gonna send them the terms of training, okay? Terms of training need to be signed in the beginning for legal factors. By the way, 0 issues have happened so far this spring. There's a lot that happened during the summer, especially with newer managers that don't know this. It's very important legally, so we don't get screwed and people don't go, they didn't tell me this or they didn't tell me that. It's all in the terms of training, all right? So when they come in, just say, oh, hey, real quick, we sent you the terms of training, so you can go through that, sign that, and then start filling in your get to know you sheet. So they are not filling out a get to know you sheet before they fill out terms of training. They check in, they get their stuff, they get their name tag. Hey, you should be receiving an email in a moment. If you don't get it, come back and let me know, all right? Sometimes their email bounces. Sometimes we put the wrong letter, like an N instead of an M when we typed it in. That happens, okay? So we just want to make sure we have the right email. So assistant managers especially, you can help so much with this as they're coming in. So for me, if training starts at 10 a.m., from 9:30 to 10:30, that's what we're doing, cool? Is we're just checking people in. As the people finish their terms, they fill out their sheet, then they go chop stuff up. So your energy, your excitement, as they're coming, oh, check this out, look at this, oh, moms love this, and just like having fun while the other people are arriving. And then typically managers will kick off training within 20, 30 minutes of start time, okay? Some start earlier. But when we have big 20, 30, 40 people coming in, those are going to take longer. So some of you guys will just have a handful. Some of you guys are going to have very big recruiting territories. All right. So know that, but everyone needs to have that. And managers, after your opening comments, always check terms of training. Has everything been signed? Cool. And if not, take a quick pause, say, hey, I need boom, boom, boom. If you guys can come over here and go sit with Savannah so she can check your stuff, because we need to make sure that gets done. And then go into your demo walkthrough. Cool. So again, it should be happening before, but right after, and make a note, branches and DMs, right after opening comments, check it, and then call whoever still needs it and give them to a helper. You guys, your ideal is to have a helper in for the first couple, right in the beginning of day one, as well as day 2 of training, and probably that full day. So we'll look at your guys' schedules, because I can tell you the main days that you want extra support are Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Cool. So those of you who will have staffing, those are main days. In the bigger offices, we'll have 3 or 4 people a day that are in helping out at different times of the day. Number 8, Google Page and Apple Maps. So this is important, and write this down as reviews. Cool. We need to all review each other's offices. And so my first instinct was, let's all do reviews here together, and then immediately Fred goes, do not do reviews all together in your breakouts. And I was like, oh, and I'm so disconnected from the tech world, but when he said it, I'm like, that makes sense. He goes, if it all comes in from the same IP address at the same time, you've had no reviews in the last 4 months, and you get 30 reviews from the same place at one time, they know that you're doing something to get those reviews versus them being organic. So we need to actually make a point, and I'll shoot a memory trick. Hey, review 2 offices. Some might not get done, and most won't get done. So DMs, BMs, if you want reviews, what Fred was saying is on PDI, or if you're talking about, hey, can you do me a favor? Could you go on to Yelp? Could you go on to Google and just review our location? So you guys want to make sure you have a location drop, you have a Google page set up. And by the way, Vector Life helps us do this. If you get the stuff into Seek Glacier, they'll make sure that that's set up. So if someone Googles your office, it shows your office picture, the address, hours open, and then it shows reviews, right? And then same thing on Yelp or Yahoo. What are all the things that we want to have them on? So he said Google page, Apple Maps were really important that we have those. So we have those Google reviews. So that's huge. Number 9, all right, number 9. Oh, wait, one last thing with number 8. He said also for Google and for when people go online, do not have your cell phones. He's like, I wouldn't want my cell phone just all over the internet for my location. He said on your Gmail, you can get a free phone number, right? He mentioned that yesterday. And he said, just have that rerouted to your phone. Put that number on your Google page online. Put that number on all your, random stuff online versus your personal cell phone. Cool. So that was a big thing that he reminded us. Number 9, Facebook classified ads. All right. So I don't know, some managers, you might have noticed, I know for us, I'm like, what are they doing with these? What's happening with these? But they set up pages last summer for us, and they were putting ads for us, like National's doing this for free. And they were putting ads for us. By the way, we got the in now with Facebook, which is awesome. Because last year at a certain point, they shut off our stuff and didn't let us put classified ads because they thought we were an MLM company and they don't promote multi-level marketing in their classified ads. And one of the VPs of Facebook, I don't know if you guys know, but he used to work with Cutco, and he was a top rep with Cutco. So they put in a couple calls, got a hold of him. He was one of Dan Casetta's old reps, and called him and said, hey, we're trying to do this. And he goes, oh. And so VP went down to classifieds and said, this is a legit company. I used to work for them. They're good. You can promote for them. So we are totally good for Facebook ads. We got the in with one of the VPs who absolutely loves us because he learned everything he learned and is where he is because of Vector. So that's pretty awesome. So we've had no issues. And Fred's like, now we're in the clear. If we need anything, we got the big dogs in Facebook behind us, and they know who we are. So that's really cool. All right. So listen up. They're putting ads, and people whoever saw last summer on their Facebook page, like people inquiring about jobs. Raise your hand if you ever saw that. All right, cool. If you didn't look at your Facebook page. People were asking like, I want a job. Like they were responding in like a private message. So what Fred was saying is, they're very delayed getting back to them. So know that. He goes, if your managers see it, tell them to call them. Tell them to interact and book them. Cool? When we get to them, because there's however many Facebook pages, we will redirect them to text to schedule. So 1, it's delayed. 2, it's a lower, conversion rate. So if I'm you, that's going to be on our thing is every morning for my assistant managers to check the Facebook our Facebook page, and call anyone that, interact with anyone who inquired about the job to get their number so we can schedule them. And if they say, oh, I already scheduled an interview, oh, great, look forward to meeting you. My name's Ashley, I'll see you when you come in. So just being more personal versus it being robotic. The other thing is district managers, branch managers, you or one of your interns or assistant managers, I know we're going to be hiring social media specific people, but can they post on that page? So he said we messaged Stephanie Weiser, something like that, or Susie Payne, and they can make sure to make them an admin on it. So you're already an admin, but they can make anyone you want an admin so that they can actually post pictures of your office, of your team meeting, and actually make it like a real life thing versus just the articles that Vector posts. So they do post for us, but it's not as personal, where if someone's in Clear Lake and they go to our Clear Lake Facebook and they see people that they know and they go, oh my God, I knew him from my school, or oh my gosh, I know him. Like that personal touch takes it to another level. Cool? So that was something Fred was recommending, give it a personal touch. It's up to you guys, but he said post on the actual Facebook page they created and check the applications that are coming in. You'll get a lot more from that, all right? And lastly, number 10 is Facebook and Active Blitz. When does it start? When does it start? Tomorrow, all right? Tomorrow, start social, 50 messages out. All right, everybody will send 50 messages out. We'll post it, all the DMs and BMs. We'll post it in the group, the message to send out. You're going to get stuff today about that, okay? And Monday, we start campus. Cassandra, am I correct to say we have St. Thomas table Monday and Tuesday? Tuesday. All right, cool. So Tuesday, we have St. Thomas. Did we get rice for Wednesday or Thursday yet? Okay. So we will... anybody that's able to help with a table that we have at St. Thomas Tuesday, that'll be awesome. We're still going to be at St. Thomas Monday, early in the morning. Cass will be there at what time? 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. tomorrow at St. Thomas, or Monday at St. Thomas, and she'll be there doing chalking in the morning. And that's something that we need to get some of the guys more help. I know we have a couple of people that we're going to be helping with that. Are you at St. Thomas on Monday? Cool. So Cameron will be there at 7 a.m. as well on Monday, and I have to look at the calendar, but we need more help. By the way, this is where you guys earn Cutco bucks. Just so you guys know, the next 4 weeks, all right, and the most important is the next 3 weeks, starting Monday, is the campus transition blitz. Cool? So just so you guys know, this week we have St. Thomas and Rice University, as well as Galveston A&M are the schools that are going to be hit, the main schools getting hit. You can also hit local schools. I know Jay will be at some of the local schools. You'll be at A&M Prairie View on Thursday. So we'll be posting this, but we need a unified help. Cool? Some of you guys are in high school. Where can you help advertise? At your school. You can go find out. Like Ashton, we were talking yesterday. He's like, oh, I could do a PA announcement during third period. Everyone's doing nothing. I was like, yes. Go talk to your school and say, hey, my job works, and take one of those pamphlets from the office. Cool? The Spec 05s that you guys get in the interview. You want to take that with you because you want to open to the back and go, they work with the schools. Like over at UT, this guy's been on the board since 1988. And like students can earn college credit, students can earn scholarships. My manager earns scholarships. And they offer this. Be like, so I wanted to see if I could give an announcement to the seniors saying if anyone's looking for work, this company has really great resume experience and jobs available. You can also set up a table, just like Cassandra did, okay? That's where she goes to school at St. Thomas. She spoke to her counselor, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll set up a table for you. By the way, if Jordan tried to set up the table at St. Thomas, they would charge him. They told Cass, we'll set up. Go ahead. Huh? Cool. But you guys can get a lot more creative. And when it's you, or if you have a club, like anytime a club supports something, they're like, oh, that's fine. you as a student have a lot more freedom at your school than we do. Cool. So what can you do? And start thinking about that. What can you do to help spread the word? Can you share in your class? I did that in every class, by the way, in my college. I asked my teacher, I showed them the pamphlet, I showed them my scholarship brochure. I said, hey, I've worked with this company, I earned a scholarship. I said, I'd love to, if you could, I said, is there any way I could have 1 minute at the beginning to let the students know, because we have opportunities for part-time work? She was like, yeah, sure. And I did that in 3 of my classes. And I got up right in the front, the beginning of class, and I had a notebook. And by the way, we have a sheet that you can pass around a clipboard. I just literally used a school notebook. So I had something just like this. And it said, need summer work. I remember one semester I put, earn money for school. That's what I put, earn money for school, when we were going into the semester. And it had name, phone number, and email. Cool. And I just said, hey, by the way, and I had the scholarship picture. I'm like, for those I haven't met, my name's Kathy. I said, I actually work with a local company that works with college students. It's it's a top student work program in the nation. They offer, you learn personal selling skills. There's a base pay. There's a chance to earn a lot more. You learn interpersonal skills, communication, time management, organization. There are internships for management. There's entrepreneurship internships. There's chance to earn scholarships as well. But anyway, if anyone wants more details, you can just put your name and number. I'm going to just pass this around and I'll be in the back. So just like pass it around, put your name, number, and I'll contact you and get you all the information. Cool. The website's also here. You can check out. And then I was just like, all right, cool. And then the teacher was like, all right. And she just started. That's it. I just did that. And I just went to the front here. And then people were just writing their name, passing it around, And I had like 52 people in one classroom that wanted more information. I ended up with 12 PRs from the 3 different classes that I did that. Cool? Can you guys do that? Yeah. That's easy, all right? So it's just telling your teacher, hey, look, my school. So you've got to tell the teacher your excitement. That's the most important thing, is as you talk to your teacher, what's your excitement about the job? Are you like, oh my gosh, like, this has been amazing. This is what I've learned. You want to share your experience. That's what Cass did, right? Go ahead. Loud. Yeah, Blackboard messages. That's great. All right. What are other things for those who have recruited on campus? So speaking in front of your classroom, sending Blackboard messages. If you don't know how to do that, you can talk to your manager. You guys setting up tables, PA announcements. What are other ideas of things you can do on campus? Jay? Giving cards out, all right, during lunch and stuff, pencils. Huh? Talk to people during lunch. Hey, you guys know anyone that's looking for some summer work? My job has some positions, different positions they're looking to fill. All right, we want social media people, guys. We need admin receptionists, and obviously we want more sales reps. All right, so we're looking to fill multiple positions in our offices. So say you're looking for summer work, yeah, my job has different positions they're looking to fill. And let's get people coming and learning about it. John. Cool. Love it. Yeah, have friends pass around a clipboard around their classes that says need summer work, and they can pass it around. I did that with a couple of friends of mine. You guys can also get posters later today. At the end of today, branches and districts, don't leave without getting some flyers and posters. Cool. So Claudia and Spencer are bringing those back. We have 100 boxes sitting in our office right now. So they will be shifted over here. By the way, there's 2 different orders. We have to go through. I'm going to need some help going through the boxes. And there was one mistake on one or the first order where it has the website, but it just says Clear Lake. And anyone who's nearby can still use those. We'll use those big time at like UH. We'll use those and just use them over at A&M and get them out. The second batch just has like the website for the whole division in Houston instead. But that was a mistake that was made in there. So we'll keep a lot of those, but we're going to get them out at all the schools anyway, because people go onto the website to check it out, because it says national locations available on the front of the card. So anyone who reads goes national locations, let me see, and they'll go on and they'll check it out and apply. All right. So go ahead. Yep, and that's what I was just saying. Posters. You guys can get posters. Go take it to your club. Go take it to activities. Go take it to whoever. Every high school student, you can easily take 4 to 6 posters, maybe even 10, and say, can I get these approved so I can put these up? My job has openings. Like, oh yeah, get them stamped and then get them put up so people see them. Cool. But we need your guys' help. The goal the next 3 weeks, and I think Stevenson mentioned it yesterday, and I was like, amen, is every single person from 17 years old to 25 years old. All right. And we recruit beyond for sure. But I want every 17 to 25-year-old in the greater Houston area, from Corpus up to Palestine, over to Nacogdoches, over the state line, to know that summer jobs are available in GCK. Cool? We want everyone to know. We want it everywhere. And by the way, rarely does someone see something once and go, oh yeah, all right? It usually takes 5, 6 or more impressions in today's day and age because of some simulations. I've heard now it's like a dozen times they need to see something to take action on it. Loud.
A good idea too would be to talk to the people that make. I know my school has weekly videos that everybody watches advisory, and there's students that actually make videos every week, so we can get in contact with whoever's part of that club or part of that group.
And have them make a video of it. You know what? That reminds me, at FIU, when I was in Miami, we got a business card, like just our image from the business card put up on the TV, because they like rotate announcements and advertisements on the TVs. They were a paperless campus. They didn't like flyers, but they're like, oh, we'll put it up. And you'd walk by and it would rotate, like summer jobs available, whatever, you know. So that's something you can check too, if there's TVs, public announcements. By the way, high schoolers, ask your counselors who is making graduation packets. Can we get a letter? Write that down. Can we get a letter put in every graduation packet so all the seniors know about it? The best way this will happen is you guys doing that. By the way, this will also impact your paychecks heavily this summer, all right? So that's an easy win you guys can take advantage of, all right? So Monday, so I told you guys this week where we're at. The next week, we've got a very big week, and that is our biggest campuses in GCK are getting hit, and that is the week of the, 22nd, whatever the next week is. Monday, Tuesday, we are at UH Maine. We need as much help as UH Maine as possible. Those of you in College Station, that Monday, Tuesday, write this down, April 22nd and 23rd, we need you guys, everyone over in CSTAT, we need your guys' help on Blinn, cool? So Monday, Tuesday, you guys are crushing Blinn while we're crushing UH, all right? And anyone that can help us with that is here, cool. Then Wednesday, Thursday, a lot of us are going up. I rented a house. I don't know if anyone saw that. I put it in the group. But I rented a house for Wednesday night. Spencer will be driving up early Wednesday. Now, CSTAT, you guys are 100% in charge. And Jeremy and all the guys who are in school over there, you guys are in charge of Wednesday morning in College Station at A&M. That morning blitz from 7 to 9, that's you guys, cool? We'll be leaving here by 6 and driving up there, and we'll jump right in. Just so you guys know, we're going to create shifts. Shifts are going to be going, there'll be breaks. But we're going to have shifts going until like 11 o'clock at night. Spencer's like, I'm going to do a night shift from like 8 to 10 at Northgate and wherever, and then hit the study spots. And so they're going to go late Wednesday night, and there'll be different breaks, and then spend the night at the house that I rented right near A&M. And then Thursday morning, be out early, help hit till about 3, and then they're driving back. Cool? So just so you guys know when the help will be there, we'll be count us by 10 a.m. Wednesday till 3 p.m. Thursday. Cool? So just to make sure we have a good blitz there, so we can make sure every student at A&M, because there's tens of thousands of people over there, that they all know about the jobs. All right. So the following week we'll be hitting other schools, and so we'll get that out. You guys all have the calendar. Your managers have it of where we're going to be on each day. We'll post that in the groups too, so you guys have it and talk to your managers. But those are the 10 things. My last miscellaneous things. Number 1. We've got to mark everyone in Vector Live. I want to know what's happening with Facebook Jumpstart this year. I want to know how great we hit it. And we can't track it if we don't put it in the right way. So you guys do get PRs, right? If you recruited them through Facebook Jumpstart, most managers are letting them count as your personal recruit because you personally recruited them, right? Through social media. But when we put it in Vector Live, guys, you need to pick social media, Facebook Jumpstart as the primary. So please put that primary. It's through the web, specifically it's Facebook Jumpstart. And secondary, you put personal recruit. Cool? So primary, Facebook Jumpstart. Secondary, personal recruit. It'll still show up as a personal recruit, but it'll track it and show us what we actually did with Facebook Jumpstart. So I need your guys' help with that to make sure we're tracking anything properly. If you're calling those names, that top slice from training, the primary is day 3 names. I think it still says day 3 instead of day 2. I think it still says day 3. Training used to be 3 days. So it'll say day 3. You're like, what the hell is day 3 of training? All right. But if it's from training, any names we kept, remember I talked about yesterday, we keep how many per person? Anyone remember? 150. So each of you will have 150 names that are yours. When you're contacting those 150 names, how are they being entered? Write this down. Day 3 training names, all right, is the primary source, the primary source. And making sure that, or it might be, sorry, personal recruit is primary, secondary is day 3. So for that one, primary is personal recruit, secondary is day 3. If they're Monday in advanced training Snapchat, and you got them from Snapchat, what's primary? Personal recruit. What's secondary? Snapchat, all right? Guys, this is huge for your businesses, because if we track this the right way, many of you in this room have already been talking about your offices and what your office is going to be like next summer when you get to run your own office. Well, guess what? If we know what was happening in your territory, if we know we're personal recruits, if we know what the manager in that territory did or didn't do, we can really guide your business at a much higher level. So this is something that helps us all. When we run businesses, we need to analyze numbers, and we can't analyze something where it's like all unknown. And literally right now, like 70% of our touches in GCK say unknown. All right. And we're culprits of that in our office too. We're just booking people and we're not even paying attention to that. And so that's a really big focus this year for me, is helping everyone to really know how to run businesses, analyze numbers, be able to track their stats. All right. So we want to make sure we do that. Any questions with that? Yeah. No, for just when you get the names from collection in training, it should say day 2, but it says day 3 training. PR, personal recruit. All right. If it's an interview, you'll put personal recruit, and the secondary, it says interview names. So there's like everything specified. So just please do the primary and secondary anytime possible when you're entering stuff into Vector Live. It'll make it really powerful to check your stuff. All right. Number 2 is, I know I talked to some of you guys separately. Guys who are opening, part of your $6,000, and when I gave you guys your budgets, it was something highlighted in green, is to go towards Adam Stock. All right. This is a huge resource I want everyone using. Some of you guys pay $225 a coaching call, which is the average coaching call. Even that's our group rate, for GCK, even with coaching with a Michael and Zeta and getting an hour. This is $380 or whatever it is that it comes out to for the whole summer. And by the way, they track all your expenses, and you get a weekly financial podcast that's like 10 minutes to listen to and just be learning about finances and money. I could not think of a better thing to invest money, and that's why I want part of that money going. I have been using this for 12 years. Cool? That's who I use. That's who I do all my stuff. He also handles from his other company in my investments and grows my money. So he tracks my money and he grows my money. So he is unbelievable. The services they provide. I know some of you guys were in the breakout yesterday. He'll be coming, one of their guys, Patterson, will be coming in here in 8 minutes. So you guys don't, some of you guys put, like Charlie put his credit card, I was like, scratch it. I'm prepaying all of it for all the guys opening. I'm getting charged, and then we're charging your startup. Cool? So just so you guys know that. And so just know that right away. You don't need to prepay. I mean, if you want to pay it on your credit card, you're welcome to. Prepay the whole amount though, because you get $50 discount. Cool? $50 discount is good. Anytime you can save money, that's good. Might not seem like a lot, but it adds up. All right. And so little becomes a lot. So you want the $50. So if you can't prepay it on your credit card, that's fine. I can take care of it and just take it out of startup once we get startup released. All right. Because that was already allocated towards that. So I want to make sure you guys knew that, or remind you guys of that. So we just need your papers filled out, which he's going to bring some in for every branch and DM opening. What? Awesome. So Charlie had papers, and when Patterson comes in, you can look at that and get those out. But that's awesome. And I want you guys knowing when I say, where'd your money go? They're like, oh. You're like, I spent this much on this much on this. Holy crap, I overspent on this. Like they track everything. It's amazing. All right. When I bought my house this year, that's what we looked at, was those charts to show what I spent on advertising, what I spent on my employees, what I spent on different aspects of the business to be able to show my profit and loss. All right. The last thing I had here is for just a reminder, campusdocuments.com. You guys heard her yesterday, Amanda, talking, but again, how do you sign in? Your email, and the password is Vector 2019 with a capital V. Cool. So just making sure you guys know how to get in there. And if you have questions about campus, there was another website she gave with frequently asked questions. Anyone remember that? All right. It's bit.ly. All right. So bit.ly / campus with a capital C, FAQ, all capitals. Again, this was up there. It's just a quick reminder that if you guys are like, have questions, you can go to there, bit.ly / campus with a capital C, FAQ, capital letters, and that will take you to documents with frequently asked questions. All right. So those are things. And then, like I said, campus lit will be here later today so that we have that. All right. But guys, I just want to share with you guys real quick. And any questions on any of that? That was like me trying to spew out all the stuff that we from our DVM meeting and stuff. But any questions on that? All right. So I want to share a couple thoughts before James comes in here in a couple minutes and we wrap up. First off, I mentioned this in the beginning. I know half of you guys weren't in here. All right. Let's work on timeliness. All right. Thank you for all you guys for here on time. I am so proud to represent you guys at this event, this conference. It has been amazing to see how you guys have been, your energy, your focus, your note-taking, sitting in the front, you know, getting the most out of the meeting. And we'll probably just leave our stuff here because they're probably going to leave their stuff there because they're right in the middle in the front. We're not going to get that again because we're going to be able to kick them out. So just leave stuff here and we'll just be in the front on this side of the room today, okay? So you can fill in any holes here. But it is so freaking cool to have the president of our company noticing your guys' energy right in the front. He's like, man, that's your group there? He's like, wow. You know, and yesterday, just how you guys cheered each other on, you know, and really celebrating and at our division, the division taking #1 in overall sales. I loved seeing all the recognition yesterday for our people. And just a lot of exciting things happen. I got to meet with the CSPs this past Tuesday and Wednesday. We had a retreat at my house. Cameron was there with us. I know Cass and Jay phoned in with us as well. And it's really exciting to see just the fusion that's coming together, not just with them, but with the entire leadership team, and really understanding that it's we that are going to make this thing happen. You know, that it's not just me. And me as an individual, I need to step up and make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and do my job at my best. But not only that, but caring about what's happening with the organization. And I'll tell you, I was talking to several CSPs. We're all chatting about this. And I was sitting with KP and Frank and Jonathan the first night. And they said, and Mike Lanzetta, and they said, man, it's so crazy and amazing to see the shift that has happened, even just in the past year. You know, but they're like, when I first came here, KP was saying, when I came back, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, it was like the Wild Wild West, all right? And him being a culprit still this past year. But everyone was just kind of doing their own thing just for themselves. And even the management team, it was like they had their own back, you know, and if they were like, oh, well, what do you want from me? You know, versus really working together. And it's just so great to finally see the 4 years of being here as the division manager, just seeing the evolution that has happened with that and where we're at right now. And guys, we have never been in such an exciting place. We have never had managers with so much focus going into the summer. People who are excited to grow themselves, people who are excited to grow businesses, people who are excited to grow financially and understand like what they can actually build here, people who are excited to build you guys and really build future leaders in our business. There is no place that offers what this does for young people and really for anyone in terms of the skill sets that you get at the age that you get it. All right. Again, there's people paying a lot of money in their 50s, 60s to get this info. I ran a workshop on Tuesday for the CSPs on conflict management and difficult conversations made simple. And this is something I teach outside of Cutco in different groups and masterminds I'm in, and with people that I coach in their businesses. Okay.